Welcome, this is M-Dog, and we're playing some Hearthstone Arena and starting our draft. So this first pick is a pretty easy one. Faceless Manipulator, very solid pick. Lets you become a copy of either a big minion that you play or one that your opponent has played. So we'll go ahead and take that first. Flame Tongue I like alright. Stone Tusk Boar is okay if you're trying to create a real fast deck. Earthshock is also decent. It does the damage and has the silence, but I think this early in the draft we'll go with Flame Tongue. Solid pick there. And certainly is between Stranglethorn Tiger and Jungle Panther, and I think I'll go with the Panther here. Stormforged Axe, even though I do like Dragonling pretty well. Mad Bomber over Murloc Tidehunter. Murloc Tidehunter just a little too easy for several of the classes, Mage being the most obvious example to deal with. I like Earthen Ring Farseer, but Youthful Brewmaster, and I like Silvermoon Guardian alright, but Youthful Brewmaster is so good. It's hard to pass on that. And the removal of Lightning Bulk is great, but Fire Elemental does that same removal, and you have a really big minion. Fire Elemental may be the best class-specific minion for Arena in the game. And we'll definitely get Chillwind Yeti here. First 4-drop. A second Axe is slightly better than getting an Unbound Elemental, I'd say. And I think I'll get Master Swordsmith here. All of these are very much support minions. If we had a few spells, even this early, a couple spells maybe, I would say yes to Mana Addict, maybe. Same with Ancient Mage. If we could guarantee we were going to have a lot of removal spells, then that might be worthwhile. But since we don't, Master Swordsmith is solid, and if you can get it out there at the right time, it can really buff up some minions. I'm not crazy about these choices. I don't want to necessarily go super expensive this early. Ancestral Healing is okay. I guess we'll go Windspeaker though. It's a below average 4, but it does give something Wind Fury, so it can be okay. I like Young Priestess. Okay, but Twilight Drake is definitely the choice there. And I'm going to go Harvest Golem for another really good 3-drop, even though I like Frostwolf Warlord a good bit. Alright, and this is an interesting taunt for 4. I would often stay away from it just because of the low attack. But the question is, do we want to get a Worgen? I guess we will. We'll get a Worgen Infiltrator to, again, just sort of have a little bit of speed to the deck. And Murloc Tidehunter over those two choices. You know, we really need some spell removal, but that's such a weak one. I actually will go Frost Elemental instead. And I think we'll get Unbound Elemental over Windspeaker this time. We've got a lot of 2s, and I don't feel like we have to go there, so we'll get Jungle Panther, and that's 2 of those now. Ooh, and this is a weird choice here. Is it Stone Tusk Boar or the Tauren Warrior? I guess we'll get Tauren Warrior. Feral Spirit, so good, and the Abomination or A-Bomb, I'm not super crazy about it. And we will pick up an Earthshock here. Given the other choices, I'm comfortable with getting that. And again, we're just really light on removal. No hexes, none of the lightning spell damage, so very weak on removal right now. Even though we do have really good minions, that's against, once we get to better opponents, that's not going to matter. We don't have the removal to keep up. And I just can't imagine putting a 1-drop down with 1 health and spending 2 overload on it. Just can't see it. And Argent Squire I like alright, but I actually think Darkscale Healer is pretty good. healing you and your minions. Okay, there's a second lightning bolt we've been offered, and the first one was really early, and we got the fire elemental instead, which I stand by that decision, but the problem is now we're so far into this is going to be really one of our first decent removals there. We'll get Razorfen Hunter, so we've got some really solid 3 drops, and there's another good 4 drop. A Rock Biter, we've got to choose it because we need the removal. A second fire elemental is great, but we don't have card draw, so this is going to be a really interesting Bloodsail Raider or Spiteful Smith. That's actually a tough choice. Let's count our 2-drop minions. They're actually more limited than I realized. There's only 4 of them, so we'll pick that up. And there's Hex. So an auto pick, given the limited removal we have, it wouldn't really matter. That's what we're going to choose. And Sun Fury Protector. So we finish it off with another decent 2-drop. So in terms of minions, we've got 5 with the Flame Tongue. Sorry, no, 6 plus the Flame Tongue totem and the Stormforged Axes we picked up. We did end up with a couple of small removals, which is okay. We have the Hex, which we're going to need. We've got pretty strong 3 drops. Torn Warrior and Unbound Elemental are okay. 4 drops are strong, other than Windspeaker, I would say is just okay. 2 Fire Elementals, which if we can sort of make it to that point in the game, those will probably win a game or 2 for us, to be honest. But so it'll be interesting. And we're just going to send the Fire Elemental back. So now we've got 2 options at 2, so we'll probably go ahead and coin into Sun Fury. And then we've got 3 options. I think the only concern I have here... Well, that's kind of too bad, isn't it? Because now on turn 2 with the Mage ability, she could trade up her 1 to get rid of our Sun Fury Protector, or she could totally wipe out our Murlocs. But I think I'd rather send the Murlocs out there first. And I suspect she'll keep the Worgen in stealth here and just take out the larger Murloc. I think that's what I would do, and just ignore this 1 damage for a turn. Alright, we are going to slow play this just a little bit. See if we can get away with it here. Alright, so we get the Healing Totem. And the reason why I did that is because that means we'll have 1 extra card in our hand when we get to turn 4 to play the Drake. Turn 3, because of its health, we may play Unbound Elemental. That means turn 4 we'll just totem, and then turn 5 totem or play a 2-drop. Yeah, we'll do that. I'm completely comfortable with that. This will safely get us to, I would think, safely get us to turn 5 so that we can drop the pretty decent Drake on the board. Could see an early polymorph. I don't know. I don't know what she would do here. I think it's going to be hard to deal with both of the Spirit Wolves in the same turn. Yeah, and this is just, I think, really too good of an opportunity to not play Master Swordsmith, because it will very likely increase the attack of one of these. Okay, it actually increases the healing totem. But again, we're slow playing a little bit, and part of that is because we don't have card drawn, so I don't want to just start throwing everything out there and risk getting the board wiped. She's going to silence that perhaps, or maybe just attack it directly. But this is a threat because it's behind 2 taunts right now, and she doesn't know what else we have. We may have more taunts. Of course, our totem sometimes will give us a taunt. Ooh, wow. Now that shows you how much she valued getting rid of that. She just spent a fireball on it. It's amazing. Really amazing. Okay, so excuse me. We will go ahead here and play the Drake, I believe. And I think the only question is, do we want to go ahead and get rid of her taunt? I think we do, because the downside of not getting rid of it is technically she could Fire Blast this and then attack it with this, and then she still has her Grizzly alive, especially if there was some way that she could then heal it with a minion. So we'll go ahead and do that. The nice thing about turn 6 is if she plays something that makes sense for this, we can put the Fire Elemental down. If we do 3 damage to it, we then can trade and kill it with that. But let's see what we top deck here. Okay, so we will go ahead and with that plan, thankfully our healing totem will heal the Drake up a little bit. We could see alright, so she's just going to go ahead and take that out with her hero ability. And now she's drawing 2 cards, which is unfortunate for us, because the one thing all this had done had led to a place of us being a little bit ahead on card draw. So I think what we'll do here is actually go ahead and give this Wind Fury, play the Worgen, and also summon a totem. I think we need to make sure we're summoning totems as a part of our strategy here. And we will go ahead and put this in stealth out there as well. Now, we have definitely invited a big AoE clear here. I think if she has it, she about has to. So she'll freeze it, then she can. Okay, so she's not going to trade her Worgen. But honestly, I mean, the Fire Elemental, we got so much work out of that Fire Elemental. Oh, that is too bad. Although, certainly could have been worse.
First kill.
And we'll play one minion here. And now she's back at, does she trade the Worgen for this? She has to get rid of the taunt first. It's really interesting. She's trying to draw in the Flame Strike, I would suppose. I mean, that's really what she needs here. And now we have, I'd say, have her in a pretty good place. I mean, we're definitely in a place of strength here. All right, so first thing we really want to do, I think we need to trade this. And then using this, let's test it. Okay. So she has 20 life. We could... I think we're lethal, actually. Yeah, we're lethal. And that, you know, I think the thing that really forced that situation there was that our fire elemental with Wind Fury, it lived for like 3 turns. So even though it was frozen and, you know, couldn't do much, our healing totem kept keeping it above the threshold of getting destroyed by the hero ability, the Fire Blast. And I suppose the mage just ran out of options on how to deal with it. I'd have to go back. Wasn't there one turn? There was, I believe, where she could have taken her Worgen out of stealth and gotten it off the board. And that was surprising to me when she didn't. So, anyway, we did get the win, though, and we can move on to the next one. It's really important to understand the strengths and weaknesses of your deck, I think, when you're playing these arena matches. And in arena, you're limited on what you can draw, obviously, and so with this deck, for instance, and we'll keep the Rock Biter for early removal. I'm going to take a chance here on Windspeaker, though. Okay, we may put that out just to have something out, we'll see. But what we have to realize with this deck is we do have, we got a lot of support here, unfortunately. We do have a limited amount of removal. We also don't have any card draw. So we need to be able to use our totems effectively, and when we have a minion out there, we need to try to really make the minions count, because if we start losing minions and get to mid-game and are playing the maximum number of minions just to try to keep up, we are going to run into the problem of top decking way earlier than our opponent would be. So it just puts us in a difficult position, and this may actually be, according to what she plays, this may be a decent time to put Flame Tongue out there and get some actual attack out of the totem we have out there now. Let's see what she plays, though. We've also got Stormforged Axe and Rock Biter for some early removal. So the way this has worked out, we do have pretty decent control right now. And that's a good play. So freeze everything up. And we'll go ahead and put the Drake out there. I was going to just play a totem and just end it and see what she did, but the Drake is strongest when you have the most cards in your hand, and to come out with 6 health on turn 4 is really good. Might get a pretty early removal out of her. What we don't want to do though right now is overplay our minions, because we assume that the reason why she's playing so slow is that she probably has 1 or 2 flame strikes, maybe even already in her hand. She may have Blizzard. She may just be sitting on a bunch of spells. It is possible that she has just higher cost minions and feels like she can survive here early match and then remove our minions with a flame strike and be in a position of strength. So that's kind of what we have to be careful of, is if we get too many weak minions out there, considering we don't have card draw, if the board gets wiped, we're done for it. Now technically the Yeti is safe from Flame Strike. I think we will play it here. We've still got just 2 minions on the board. They both have 5 life, and they both have 4 attack. So sort of okay 2 minions to have. We could just totem and flame tongue totem here. Now we've got some healing, which will be really nice. And I'm attacking with the Drake because it's the one that could be silenced. So it's sort of the weaker of the 2 right now. If she silences the Yeti, that doesn't do anything. I suspect that what she may do here is either directly remove Flame Tongue or try to freeze the whole board up while she's trying to get to... Look at all these secrets, huh? And if I had to guess, I'd say the other one is gonna be copying the minion we play.
Bring me steel. Bring me steel.
Now we are in a place where Flame Strike wipes out everything except for the Yeti. However, she played a lot of cards, 2 secrets last turn, so she doesn't have as big an advantage after Flame Strike as she could have if we had really gone all out here and played a lot of cards. It would have been nice to keep that healing totem, but that could have been worse as well. Could have taken out Flame Tongue. So she's now trying to draw cards. So we could deal 4 damage here and then just get rid of it with our totem there. We could really just leave this alive, I'd say, and then attack with everything else. We could also Stormforge Axe. Let's go ahead and totem up. Whatever we do, we're gonna... Now we got healing back, which is great. So let's just take this out. And we'll take that out. So this is now above Flame Strike range. Our Yeti is now up to 7 attack because of the Master Swordsmith and the Flame Tongue combination. So we're still in a pretty good place, and of course we have lethal this turn. If she has Flame Strike, she has to play it, but on the other hand, it's not enough. So she's drawing cards. I mean, I think the only thing that saves her right now is probably some sort of large taunt, but that really doesn't save her either between Rockbiter and our weapon that we have equipped. That's probably going to be game here. So I think we pretty much played around Flame Strike there. There was a turn or two where she could have gotten good value out of it. I'd say if she had it, she probably would have played it, but either she didn't have it or she was really being picky on trying to wait till when she used it. So we'll send Darkscale Healer back. Like having an axe early, especially if you're trying to play a little slow in the beginning. And these other two cards are good as well. Now the Druid is going to be tough. If we get to mid to late game, which we probably will with our deck, the Druid becomes a bit of a problem. I think we'll play Murloc here. With the idea that we may Stormforge Axe next turn. And then of course if we do that, we would likely Bloodsail Raider the turn after. In fact, if we can wait till turn 4 and do both, we'll do that. A lot of people playing Reaper of Souls. I guess Blizzard sent out quite a bit of the beta keys to their, I guess it's their friends and family. It's not in open beta, obviously. I don't even think it's in true beta. It may be in alpha, or maybe this is the first stage of beta and it's just sort of the friends and family. But at this point, Blizzard has a lot of friends and family, apparently.
Silvermoon shall not fall.
So we were going to play Stormforge Axe and Bloodsail Raider this turn. However, if we do that, we're going to allow her to easily 2-for-1. So I think we actually play Feral Spirits here. We're going to hit this to take the Divine Shield off. The idea is that next turn, whatever she kills, it'll take it down to 1 health, or he kills, and we can probably use our axe to go ahead and take it out.
Drink with me, friend.
Okay, scratch that. She will take 1 out with Wrath.
Elements guide me.
So now on turn 6, we're going to have 5 mana. Obviously, we want to play Bloodsail if possible. And probably just a totem with it, I believe. Look how many more cards this druid has. Twice as many cards in his hand as I do right now. Well, technically, almost twice.
I am the blade that leads.
Elements guide me.
Pretty favorable trade for us. 2 mana, taking out a 6 mana card. He has card advantage, so we need a lot more favorable trades than just that one, but
Silvermoon shall
and
not
here comes Divine Shield again.
We must cleanse the Sunwell.
Yeah, I think we hex it. I honestly do, because that keeps us in a real position of dominance here. Well, let's see. If we don't hex it, we trade, and this has 1 health left. Obviously questionable on hexing that target, but the issue is if he has Ironbark Protectors and some of the other really big druid cards, I'm not sure that if we hadn't hexed it, we'd have had to play more cards, and I don't think we can afford. There's healing.
What to do?
I got the best deals anywhere.
And this is, you know, I think we've played this about as slow as we could. But this is what, you know, this is, we knew our deck would have this problem, as he has card draw and we don't, and he's also, and now he's starting to get out some of his big removals. And obviously any amount of any big minions or much more removal, and we're going to be in, wow, look at that. It's going to be game over, folks. What are you attacking? Oh, just setting it up to attack it next turn, I'd say. I've got one of every totem. How nice is that? Alright, well. Don't think there's anything we could draw that would really change the outcome of this match. This is, you know, I just think getting so little removal, wow, obviously really hurts us here. Oh, look at that value. That's awesome. Oh, that is awesome. How many cards? He's just about going to have his whole deck out now. That's awesome. That is really cool. Well played. And we got nothing, folks. We got nothing. Alright, what did he play? Oh yeah, he's got the cards. The cards keep coming. Alright.
Elements guide me. Well played.
GG. And we lose. We lose. That was interesting. You know, when I thought about this deck losing, I figured we'd lose first to just a real aggressive deck that we wouldn't be able to keep up with, but actually that makes sense too, that this deck would lose to a druid deck that gets to mid to late game, and no way we can keep up with those big druid minions, considering our lack of true removal. I don't think we've yet used Sunfury Protector really as a taunt-inducing card.
Greetings, friend.
For the longest time, I did not know that these side mirrors broke. I mean, side windows broke. I guess for some reason I just was hitting the middle one and it broke, and then I was like, oh, cool, it breaks. So 3 mana cards coming out. Yeah, we will rock biter that off the planet. Let's get a totem out. And let's get rid of that thing. Let's get rid of that thing. We don't want a Worgen out there. Worgen too strong. Well, we got the coin out of him, we got a Worgen out of him. But we did use our rock biter, which is one of our few removals. Alright. Thinking we just axe that thing. We don't want to waste an attack and a health of our Sun Fury. Oh, how about that Faceless Manipulator? If we could have drawn that against that Druid early enough when he put that 8/8 out there and we were able to deal with it. If we could have also had Faceless Manipulator and become one, that would have been nice. But it was not to be, not to be. And I think we've got 2 Fire Elementals, but I only ever saw 1 against the Druid, I think. So, although honestly, without card draw, I mean, we're not going to make it through all of our cards, even if the opponent does. It's just the unfortunate truth of the matter. All right, so we got to attack that. We'll probably just axe it. I don't know what I want to do here, honestly. We could just axe it and ignore that and put a totem and a Worgen down. Just deal with everything later. We'll worry about everything later. We can put Shield Master down next turn if we so desire. Could also Totem and Jungle Panther. See what the Paladin does. Consecrate does clear most of the board, honestly. This is not a bad time to consecrate. He would be able to trade, and his Sun Fury would be the only thing left on the board. So he's going to hammer Wrath there instead. Alrighty. Let's just blow it up, huh? No time like the present to just blow it up. Man, what is he waiting for? I feel like these opponents know how limited our card draw is, and they're just hanging back and watching us suffer. So he's going to double. Looks like he's going to swing the weapon and use his Murloc there to take out our. Take 6 more damage. Really only 4 because he heals for 2. Say that's a Faceless Manipulator target right there. But let's see. And then we can take the shield off. Then we got to come up with 6, 3, 4, 5, 6. We could probably clear it. All right.
First kill. Elements guide me.
Yeah, if it survives... Oh, it's not. Scratch that. Yeah, we got lethal if he doesn't... Oh, man. Oh, these divine shields. Alright. We pop the divine shield, hit him once, and then 5, 6, 7. That was if we did Wind Fury. Pop the divine shield. Let's see. I think that's still the play, though. I don't love it.
Feel the power of the wings. There's no time.
Well, we've at least put him in a precarious situation here. I don't know how much healing he has, but he's going to need Consecrate, honestly, to live through this turn, I think. I think if he doesn't have Consecrate or a pretty good-sized Taunt, obviously he can take out our... Yeah, that's not enough. Too bad. Too bad, Silver Carbon. He was so excited about doing a double Kings there, but didn't work out. It was close. I'll give you that. It was close. Actually, it was a Kings and then a Blessed Champion. Blessed Champion. Double the attack. All right. So we got to 3 wins. Yeah, it's not bad. I mean, this deck is not going to be, this isn't going to be going to 8 or 9 wins. Just not enough removal, and just a limited deck. If we had a lot of card draw, even with the limited removal we had, maybe we'd have a chance. But we don't even have card draw. But if we get good card draw in the order that we do get cards, we could get a couple more wins. But all it takes is being a little unlucky, and this deck will just fall flat on its face as we get into some of these tougher matches. Oh, excuse me. Alright, so we'll go ahead and send Darkscale Healer back. It is nice to have Twilight Drake early, and having a Fire Elemental in your hand, not too bad either. Obviously, we're not going to coin up here, because we want to see how the first couple rounds go and look at possibly trying to slow play it a little bit so that we do have a pretty big Drake that comes out. And if the rogue has Assassinate, that might get Assassinate out of its hand. Turn 3, we may have to go ahead and rockbite our weapon and take out the raptor just to slow it down a little bit. We'll see. Maybe a little risky to wait that long though. Let's go ahead and put this out. We can always rockbite our weapon next turn with our Drake if we want to. So he's going to trade with his Worgen. Oh! We've got a Wisp. We have a Wisp. That is quite exciting. So we'll go ahead and take the damage just to get that off the board. We're down to 20, which is dangerous against a rogue, but honestly, as we get into some of these tougher matches, we're going to have to take chances. And, you know, it works out or it doesn't, but yeah, I'll go ahead and trade with that. And next turn, I really want to go ahead and put out a taunt card, I think. We're going to take this out just so he doesn't get easy card draw. We'll totem and put out the Tauren Warrior. So now we've got 2 taunts out. And we'll trade here. So the taunts will slow down the direct damage, at least from the weapon and minions. Now, this was this was a bad play for me. If he has Betrayal, he can Betrayal our Drake and take out both cards. So that was not a good move. Now let's see which one he chooses to do. The smart play is to take out this, I think, and he will do that, and that's good. Because if he hadn't done that, you know, we would probably go Fire Elemental and take it out, and we'd still have the Sun Fury. So, all right, we're not going to do Fire Elemental. We want that to be a surprise when it comes in. We're going to do Sinjin Shieldmaster here. And now Betrayal does nothing for him, so this is much better play against a rogue in terms of positioning. And that Wisp is still out there, and it's such a bad card. I don't even know that I can stand killing it, to be honest. So we'll just let it be. Yeah, and we've got that, you know, I think it's worth, to be honest with you, taking out this with Lightning Bolt and Fire Elemental. We've got this with a spell damage on the board. We're going to just go ahead and do it. It keeps everything else not only alive, but able to attack this turn. And that keeps him from being able to enrage that himself and getting a huge weapon bonus. So I think that was a reasonable move. And in this match, unlike the last couple matches, we've been able to stay right there with them in terms of card draw. So he has 2 of these Spiteful Smiths. 13 damage. If we drew a Wind Fury card right now, obviously it's game over. Ooh. So we've got 17 damage. 17 damage, huh? Don't we just go directly to his face then? Hex that. Fire Totem. Go to his face. Sorry, Flame Tongue Totem. So we won't have quite as much damage because we do have to take that out. But now he has a lot to deal with only 4 health left, so I'm pretty sure that's game over.
Tastingo! Yes. Squire, attend me.
Ready, sir.
Well played.
So that was fortunate card draw. The cards did not come out in a really awkward order, which is possible with this deck. We got strong cards early and kept getting decent cards each turn, and we're able to really play a smart game there. So that is, when that happens, yeah, this deck could get a couple wins, but I still say this deck is nowhere near 8 to 9 wins. This deck is totally dependent on a little bit of luck and foresight in the way that we play, and then we're going to sort of settle in at 5 or 6 wins or so, and that'll probably be about it. But we shall see. And if I think in terms of looking at what would make this deck have 9-win potential, it probably needs a second hex. It definitely needs 1 or 2 of the lightning storms. There's 2 different variety, one that does 2 to 3 damage to everything, one that does 2 to 3 damage to 2 random enemies. One of each would probably be fine. And then the only other thing it needs is 1 or 2 cards with card draw. And then I think then you'd have a Shaman deck that wouldn't be steamrolled to 9 wins. I've definitely had some stronger Shaman decks than that, but even with some of the other cards we have, I think that would be 9-win potential. So, and that's the random part of Arena. Sometimes you get those cards in your draft, and sometimes you don't. But the whole goal of Arena should be just do the best you can with the cards that you do get, and over time you'll win more than you don't. I actually think we keep this because a turn 3 Feral Spirit will keep us in the game, I would think, long enough to catch up. So we've got some good 3-drops now, and if she plays slowly here, we can even hold off on Feral Spirits, but we should be able to put a pretty strong... Alright, now that keeps us from... Keeps us from wanting to just totem here.
Wanna blow something up?
Mana Worms can be very dangerous. If she comes back here and has any kind of spell to play, the Mana Worm grows. If the spell is a Frostbolt and she's able to... Okay, so that was really not that bad of a situation for us. And now we have a decision to make here. I think it's smarter to go ahead and play Harvest Golem and not just Totem and wait for Twilight Drake. I don't think we have to play Feral Spirits here. I think we can go ahead and save that. The overload penalty, considering we don't have card draw, really doesn't hurt us as bad because we're not going to be able to play. Okay, so she's going to get card draw out of us unless we go ahead and totem and then silence that. and wait for Twilight Drake. I think that's what we'll do. The Twilight Drake will be just as strong, and that's the only way we can keep her from getting card draw out of us. And that kind of card draw, she was going to get 2 cards out of that card at least, and that would have been she could have gotten more because she could have blasted it herself next turn. But alright, so now we can put our Twilight Drake out. And I think we let her trade with us here. We could take this out though. We'll do that. Now if she wants to spend 2 mana, obviously she can go ahead and turn this into a 2/1 damage golem. But that would be 2 of her mana this turn. Okay, she's going to silence this, get it back to a 4/1, and now she's got all kinds of good trades here. She can Fire Blast this, trade here if she wants. Oh, that's awesome. Stinks for us, but that's a great play there. Yeah, I think we go ahead and play the Yeti and go ahead and axe that owl. That did not seem like the right target for our fire elemental. Again, I think Feral Spirits can wait at least another turn or two and see what other cards we get. Now that seems like a fire elemental target. It is going to put our Yeti in Flame Strike range. But it's not an ideal Flame Strike board. And if we see her doing 1 damage to our elemental, we know what's coming next turn. So we'll see what she does here. Polymorph. So we still could see Flame Strike next turn. Let's see if she goes and kills the sheep. We definitely don't want to play Feral Spirit if we suspect that a Flame Strike is coming. She's got 4 cards in hand. And I don't think you can completely live in fear of Flame Strike. You know, you can't just stop playing. So we put 1 more card out here.
Bring me steel.
And this very much feels like the same kind of pace you sort of have to have against a priest. You hold off as long as you can, not letting Flame Strike completely win the game for them. But we are getting to a point where
It's time.
Alright, we're going to take a chance here. I think if she is going to get a copy of what we're playing, that stinks, but I'm still not sure that wasn't a little bit what we had to do here. Alright, we'll go ahead and go ahead and trade there. If she has Flame Strike, we'll probably see it here. I'm not sure that she has Flame Strike right now. Having good removal is probably going to be the difference in this match. And I'm not 100% sure that she still doesn't have Flame Strike, although I think there's been 2 occasions where most players would have gone ahead and played Flame Strike. And this would be another place. I mean, if she was able to play Flame Strike right here, that would pretty much seal the deal, so she must not have it.
I'll put it on your pen.
Unbelievable.
Ready for action. Tastingo.
And I think we're kind of doing the best we can with the cards we have. I just don't know that... Obviously she has much better board presence right now. Not good. Fire blast this. Surprised she doesn't start going for the face. I mean, she sees that I'm down to 1 card. And, you know, we know that I really don't have any cards to really get back into it, most likely, but she doesn't know that. You know, we could have... Shamans have potentially all kinds of board clear. But it's just not.
Drink with me, friend.
It's not in our deck. So
With me, friend.
she could have probably been going for the face this whole time and had have already won, but she's taking it slow and cautious, and we don't have the cards to remove anyway, so to remove it. Yeah, I just don't think in general it's probably not the smartest idea to trade with tiny minions when you've got big minions that only have 1 and 3 health left. Because if we had a normal Shaman deck, those would be completely wiped off the map right now.
Shields up.
Alright. Sort of kind of what I expected to happen to this deck a couple matches ago, but we got a couple you know, we just sort of found our way through a couple of wins there to get to 4. I think this deck honestly could have stalled at 2. It just depended on how our cards came out, but we're still hanging in there, 4-2. Let's see if we can get one more win out of it, or if that's going to be.
Thrall versus Valera.
It's actually kind of hard to complain with that starting hand. Knowing the cards we have, we're not going to get much better than that.
Greetings, friend.
Glory to the Sindori.
We must cleanse the Sunwell.
Again, just not really a good play for us. And if the rogue really wants to be aggressive here, may just attack to our face, especially if she has any kind of removal to deal with this now or next turn. Assassinate is 5 mana, but
Blood and plunder.
yeah, that's what I kind of figured, because now she, and with that play, she can now now slow us down a little bit on taking out the cards that she wants to save. So we'll probably maybe Rock Biter here, take out that, put down the Yeti.
What to do?
Okay, that's true. We can Rock Viter this just as easily. Go ahead and take out the bigger threat. It'll heal back up to 4. So it would require this and the weapon to take it out, and we also have a Yeti, so it's not bad. We lost 10 health to get to sort of, you know, switch the board back a little bit. We're still not in a great position though. Assassinate is an option, but would cost all of her mana, so I don't know if that's really the best time to do that. If this lives, we could Darkscale Healer just to get this back up to... I think it actually started at 7 health, didn't it? So that would get it back up to 6. You wonder if she's going to take the healing totem out. I think that's what I would do. How nice is that? Getting another healing totem right there. Actually, we'll go ahead and put this guy out, because we know that next turn we're very likely to play our weapon, which does have overload on it. So it'll buff this guy up by 1/1 if he lives through this turn. Kind of like the idea next turn, especially if there's something to swing at with the weapon, to play weapon, Blood Cell Raider, and then just totem. But let's see what she does here. Having a 4/3 for 2 mana is pretty amazing. She does have 7 cards though. Yeah, honestly, I think let's see what else she plays, but I think we go ahead and trade here, hit that with a weapon, and trade here, and just clear her board. Because a rogue, you know, fan of knives, but we've got the healing totem. So for the most part, we're just going to be looking at, is that all she's going to play? She must have some big cards in her hand. Alright, let's go ahead and do this. We actually won't have to hit that with a weapon. We can just take out her little guy. Let's go ahead and totem first, actually.
This marks the spot.
So we'll get some health back there. The Spirit Wolves would be interesting if we top decked them, only because of the overload, getting 1/1 again on this guy. We certainly have the rogue in a tough position, and the fact that she slow played last turn makes me wonder if she's not going to maybe return all minions to our hand or something. It seemed weird, unless she just has that big of cards. Okay, so that's why she's slow playing. So the only way around that is if we get... she's gonna go to our face, I guess. Only way around that, of course, is going to be if we get our silence, which is unlikely. Alright, so is there anything we want to save that we want to trade this out for? I don't think so. Honestly, the thing that I'd most want to save is the healing totem. but we can get another one of those, or we have the potential to. I don't think there's any way to take that out without. Now this would do 4 damage, so that would kill it. So we'll just have to do this. So this might be a good time. Just totem and get Darkscale Healer. We have 12 damage coming in this turn. She doesn't have a taunt, really 14 counting our weapon. So we have lethal on the board, but with 7 cards, you know, rogues have decent single target removal. Yeah, and there's a good betrayal. We still have 10 damage on the board.
Bring me steel.
Still lethal. She has to remove the Yeti to not have, for us not to have lethal. I mean, pretty much. I guess if she removed everything except for the Yeti, we wouldn't quite have lethal, but...
Pass me that arc light spanner.
Well played.
Shields up.
So she does live another turn there. Oh, no, she doesn't. All right. Well, we're in the home stretch here with this deck. It's certainly, I think we've gotten everything we can out of it. Whether we get to one more and get to 6, or whether this is our last match, I feel satisfied with the way that we've been able to play very strategically. I think because of the nature of our deck, we had to play, in a really a certain specific way. Hold back a lot of things whenever we could. But balance that since we don't have too much removal. So it's just sort of been living in this very narrow space. But I think it's gone pretty well. We've gotten 5 wins, and we'll just keep these. This is our first matchup against a Warlock with this deck. This could be a little scary if this Warlock has a lot of aggressive early plays.
Greetings, friend.
Just
I greet you. Why you call?
Oh, wow. Expected him to go for our face there. Interesting. And again, as long as the Warlock will let us, we'll slow play this.
Give me a quest.
So things are actually going pretty well. I think we're actually going to Feral Spirit here and then Rock Biter that so that we can take out the Questing Adventurer. That's sort of the scariest thing that he has on the board. And this will limit our possibilities next turn, but it puts us in a position of strength, and we'll still have 3 mana to play with, so that, you know, we can totem. We've got 2 twos to consider, or Jungle Panther, whatever we feel like we want to play next turn. Honestly, that was kind of best case scenario for us in terms of what it destroyed. So he may just sit and not attack anything with his, yeah, his warrior there, his bluegill. So if we hit this, it would only have, it'd still have 3, so we can't kill it. I really think maybe we play Jungle Panther and then just go for his face. I will take out that. Since our minion lives, it just gives him less options on where to attack, especially if he comes in with a removal spell. This does have, but you know, this one would have had Mortal Coil written all over it as well, so either one of them he could do, and that's the spell that Warlocks have. I may be remembering the wrong name, but that basically does 1 damage and lets him draw a card.
So many possibilities.
Pretty good, well-timed Shadow Flame. He was in a very bad position, and that helped him recover a little bit.
So many possibilities. I wonder.
That's what he just top decked. Let's see what it is. Power Overwhelming. He'd be able to take this out, but it would leave this alive. Just really thinking about it. Oh, that's a good play. Honestly, it's always a good play. Looks like he might just let us trade. I don't blame him. I mean, I think it's kind of a toss-up. Take the Yeti out. Interesting.
You're in trouble now.
Drink with me, friend.
It's unfortunate that he top decked Mortal Coil.
I'll get right on it.
See what, if anything, he trades here. That's smart.
So many possibilities.
I don't think you trade down. I think you attack the face. Yeah, I wouldn't do that either. I'd get that damage in while you can.
Challenge accepted.
I think there's been a few times where the trades he's chosen have not made the most sense. But we will take it.
Thrall versus Uther. I will fight with honor for Doomhammer.
Well, go ahead and play the Murlocs. You know, we've got Rockbiter and Totem next turn, or we could just Axe next turn, so can protect these Warlocks a little bit. This will be Rockbiter and Totem. And next turn we could Totem again and Axe if that does it. We do need to remember turn 4 everything right now would be killed by Consecration, and he could coin into it now. Nope, doesn't look like it. He's gonna True Silver. So there's not going to be anything for us to Axe here, so it may just be a Totem. Let's see what we top deck here though. Try to keep the pressure up here a little bit. This will be the True Silver target, but that's fine. I mean, I think we're going to have to be able to keep the pressure up against the Paladin. Wow. So he does that to protect his Bloodsail Raider. Really tempted to just put Taunt up and then Axe that and then attack to his face. Problem is if he gives that Divine Shield, this is such a bad card. Suppose if you're a mage or if you're a warrior you have a way to enrage it yourself. I mean, it's a little bit better, but
Elements guide me.
such a bad card. It actually just infuriates me. Good, I'm glad it didn't give it to this. This card actually just really ticks me off. Well, you start to see he's already had 2 True Silver Champions equipped.
I'll put it
So
on
I'd say getting 6, 7 wins, however many he's gotten here, and that's his second Blood Cell Raider. If he's already lost 2, that's surprising with those cards, unless he has really crummy everything else, because that seems like a pretty basic 9-win deck to me. Alright, so we'll have to, I guess, just freeze one of them and ignore the other one for now. I don't want to hex them. Well, if we hexed one, we could turn that into taunt. I don't know. Problem is now if he puts Divine Shield on this, we are so in so much trouble. Okay, he doesn't have it. Wow, he got some great cards. Unbelievable. Well, now we may have to start hexing something just to try to stay in it.
I wonder.
Such a waste, but such a waste, but this game has been over for quite a while, to be honest. Again, unless he just has the crummiest remaining cards, but that would be really unlikely. He seems to have picked good cards. He got a lot of lucky choices in the draft.
It's time for a little blood.
Alright, we'll see what we top deck, but we're going to go ahead and go ahead and concede this one. Okay, I guess we'll hang in there another turn just since we got a taunt. But our deck is way too weak to have to be top decking, you know, when they've got board control and card advantage. Oh, he's just gonna clear everything.
I'll put it on your head.
And he's just kind of crossing his T's there, making sure he's got everything lined up.
Shields up.
Wow. I'm pretty sure he could go 9 wins with this deck without trying. I mean, I do have to remember we don't have any removal really, or not much, so that obviously does hurt us, but
Drink with me, friend.
we're just being annoying right now. I'm not going to do this. This is just annoying. Alright, good game. You've got really good cards. I am impressed with your cards, Speedix. Well done. Alright, so, again, really feel good about, and of course the deck's gone. I can't wait till they change that. It'd be so nice to finish an arena run to know exactly, okay, this is where we landed. We got 6 wins. Let's look at the deck. Let's see what could have been better. Where the problems were, where the strengths were. But no, we can't do that. So this is awesome. I mean, 6 wins with this deck is great. cannot complain at all. You always want to go 7 when you can because you get all of your gold back pretty much guaranteed. But, you know, as soon as we finished the draft, we knew this wasn't anywhere near 7 to 9 win deck. And somehow we got probably a little lucky in card draw, and then also just, I think, played the right way with this deck, so we were able to get to 6 wins. But so let's see, we end up with 85 gold, not bad at 6 wins. A lot of dust for 6 wins, and of course a pack of cards that we'll open now. And look forward to the next draft. I mean, I think the odds are next draft we'll probably get a little better card selection than we did there. That was one of the more unfortunate ones I've seen. So we have 2 new cards. Let's see what they are. We hardly ever get new cards anymore. A second Starfall, that's great. And a second Golden Frost Shock. Now that might have been from leveling up. Yeah, that was from leveling up. So 4 of the cards were not new out of our 5 from the card pack. So there we have it. Thanks as always for watching. Any comments or questions, feel free to leave them in the comment section under the video. You know, if you've been watching the channel recently, we've got a lot going on. We've trying to branch out and not always have Hearthstone content, though I love bringing Hearthstone content out. In fact, we're working on a pretty big project that's not quite ready yet, so won't talk too much about it, but it does have to do with Hearthstone. Working on that, partnering with someone else to work on that, and then also, yeah, just have played a couple different games lately, and then continuing to do lots of Hearthstone. So I hope you're enjoying the content that I'm putting out there, and just appreciate any follows or positive or any kind of feedback, really. Just let me know what you think. Thanks as always.